The last letter. Chapter 1, The Train Station. It all began on a rainy Tuesday afternoon at Paddington Station. Amelia sat quietly on a wooden bench, holding a worn-out leather journal close to her chest. She had just missed her train, but she didn't seem upset. Her mind was somewhere else, lost in a blur of old memories and the smell of rain on the pavement. Then came Daniel. He was late too, chasing the same train, soaked to the skin, laughing breathlessly as he dropped his suitcase next to the bench. Their eyes met. She offered a polite smile. He smiled back, and that's how it began, something so simple, so ordinary, yet it would change both their lives forever. Chapter 2, A Coincidence or Fate? They talked. About the train. About the weather. About the book in her lap and the camera slung over his shoulder. Then came the small moments that made the world shrink. They discovered they both liked the same obscure jazz artist. That they hated sugar in their tea. That they were both in London only for a few weeks. Maybe we were supposed to miss that train, Daniel said with a half smile. Amelia chuckled. Maybe. Chapter 3, 17 Days. 17 days. That was all they had before Amelia would leave for New York to begin her internship at a publishing house, and Daniel would head to South Africa for a photography project. They didn't waste a second. They went to late-night jazz clubs, walked along the Thames, danced in the street to music from a passing cab, and stayed up talking until the sun bled over the city skyline. Falling in love was effortless. Saying goodbye wasn't. Chapter 4, The Promise. On their last night, they sat under the old elm tree in Regent's Park. Daniel handed her a letter, unopened, sealed with wax. "Read it when you miss me," he said. She gave him one too. "Don't open this until you're somewhere you can't find me anymore." They kissed, and just like that, he left. Chapter 5, The Distance. Life moved on. Emails turned into fewer texts. The time zone stretched them thin. Slowly, the connection blurred, like a photograph exposed to too much light. But neither opened the letters. Years passed. Amelia became an editor. Daniel's photographs appeared in galleries. They both loved again. And lost again. Yet on some days, they still felt it, that tug of a moment, the shadow of a memory under a gray sky. Chapter 6, The Reunion. 10 years later, Amelia stood in a bookstore in Edinburgh for a conference. A man stepped in, holding a camera, asking for directions to a photo gallery. It was him. No dramatic music. No sudden embrace. Just two people standing across from each other, older, softer, still unfinished. They went for coffee. He pulled out her letter, unopened. "So did I," she said, reaching into her bag. They opened them together. Inside was nothing but a single sentence, each. Hers said, "Come find me someday." His said, "I never stopped looking." When the Leaves Fall. Chapter 1, Autumn in Florence. The first time Claire saw Luca, he was standing under the orange canopy of a maple tree in the Boboli Gardens. He wasn't doing anything extraordinary, just sketching in a leather-bound notebook, but something about the way he moved, the quiet focus on his face, made her stop. She was an American exchange student studying art history in Florence, and he was, well, she didn't know yet. But fate introduced them properly a week later in a small coffee shop near the Arno River. She ordered cappuccino, he was reading a book by Italo Calvino. Their conversation started with a comment about the weather and ended 3 hours later with 2 empty cups and hearts that beat a little faster. Chapter 2, The Artist and the Dreamer. Luca was a painter. Born and raised in Florence, he lived in a small apartment above a bakery, with a studio that smelled of turpentine and lavender oil. Claire, full of dreams and fears about her future, found herself drawn to his calm presence and unshakable passion. They explored the city together, hidden chapels, open-air markets, quiet bridges that lit up under the moonlight. Claire had never believed in soulmates before, but something about Luca made her rethink everything. And slowly, quietly, they fell in love. Chapter 3, Seasons Change. As winter approached, Claire's return to New York loomed closer. Neither of them talked about it at first. They pretended the calendar didn't matter. They clung to each moment like it would last forever. But time, as always, kept moving. "I wish you could stay," Luca said one night, as they lay on his rooftop beneath a quilt of stars. "I wish I could too," she whispered. She left in January. No dramatic goodbyes, no promises they couldn't keep. Just one kiss, a letter, and a memory. Chapter 4, Life Goes On. Years passed. Claire finished her degree and got a job at a gallery in Manhattan. She dated, traveled, grew up. Sometimes, she thought of Florence, of yellow light on cobblestone streets, of Luca's paint-stained fingers brushing against hers. Luca kept painting. His art began to sell. He taught children's art classes and tried to forget the girl with the bright eyes and quiet laugh. They lived full lives. But neither of them really let go. Chapter 5, A Second Autumn. 10 years later, Claire returned to Florence for a conference. She wasn't looking for anything. She had made peace with the past. Until she walked into a small gallery in Santo Spirito. And there he was. Standing in front of a canvas, a painting of a woman beneath a maple tree, her hair catching the wind just so. He turned. Their eyes met. No words at first. Just silence, and tears, and the sound of time folding in on itself. "You remembered," she said. "I never forgot," he answered. Chapter 6. This time, we stay. They talked all night, about everything and nothing. About missed chances and choices. About who they had become, and who they had always been beneath it all. Claire extended her stay. Luca booked a flight to New York. And this time, there was no goodbye. Just two people walking forward, finally in step, as the leaves began to fall once more.